Welcome to Live Edge, episode number next. I'm Matt. And I apologize to Miss 731 for almost landing on her foot.
I'm Amy.
Welcome to the show. This is episode number next, if I didn't say that. So, first off, I almost landed on her foot, and she said, I'm not speaking until I get a public apology. And so there she goes.
Because he's been mean, y'all.
If we're a little out of focus, not sure what's going on.
He's been pushing buttons.
Yeah, I have not, but the camera has been messed up. We moved everything around from doing the floors. I haven't been putting those buttons. We're trying to fix it. What? It's true. So what happened is, hey, Lloyd. And so I don't know what's going on. It's just out of focus on me, and then it's focused on her. She's better to look at than I am. However, mail call, Jason Priestler. He gave me, hey, hide your face.
No.
Jason Priestler gave us this Employee of the Month. Who did that?
Who did what?
The camera went off.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
You're...
There it is, Employee of the Month. And I don't know what's going on with the cameras. It's been all jacked up.
What is this?
It was like up the nose cam. That's what I got that one there for. That's the booger checker. So thank you, Jason, for that awesome gift. It's actually been sitting right here since we got it. He made that. He actually made the frame, and he also burned the image in with his laser engraver. Super cool.
Super cool, though.
Super cool, man. Thank you very much. That was
the best
really
part
awesome.
was the note he sent with it. And, you know.
That was a good one, man. Thank you. It got us. It got us.
That was good.
Well, we still got everything working properly, mostly. Sawdust Spotlight from the 731 Woodworks community on Facebook this week was chosen by Mini 731. So this is in tables that high school students designed in Fusion 360 and then built as their final project for the semester in engineering and technology. They all made these end tables. You can see they're super strong. Awesome, awesome job.
It's super cool because you've got these young people doing this stuff.
Yep, that is really cool.
So,
Like to see young people getting into this stuff. Now you're out of focus.
it's probably something you've done. You've been pushing buttons, so.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, y'all drop those states. I worry about you.
Yeah, I worry about me too.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. This is the first live stream of
First
2022.
one of 2022. Yep.
It's so far so good.
We worked all the way through New Year's, and New Year's Day, late New Year's Day, I don't know who it was. Was it you that brought up the black eyed peas?
Mackenzie did, I think.
Somebody, and I was like,
I'd forgot about it.
I always cook on New Year's, and we had been working with we had no stove at the time because everything was unhooked.
We're redoing our floors.
Yeah.
In case you don't.
We were in total wreck mode here, and so I was like, well, we can't, everything's closed today, so the next day we had to search. Mini 731 did. She had to search everywhere to find so that I could make black eyed peas for him.
I don't know where else it's a tradition, but it's kind of a tradition in the South. I assume it's nationwide. If it's not, it probably should
probably
be.
Not. It's probably
Becca
a southern
says
thing.
black eyed peas and stewed tomatoes.
Different people do different things. So for us, we always do, you're supposed to have a ham hock in your black eyed peas. But nobody in here really likes the ham hock other than me. I like the flavor of it. He's not a ham person. So I always put bacon in it. But I do bacon, onion, peppers, one jalapeno, not seed it. To
Then
give
she
it
does
spice.
the Salt Bay while she's doing it too.
Seasonings and different things like that. And then make it with cornbread. And I usually do dressing with it too. Did not this year.
If you want to join the Facebook community, Miss Stephanie has put the link to that in the chat. You can go check that out and join the community. You have to answer 2 questions. 1, will you be nice and obey the rules? You'll see the rules. And what's your favorite tool? If you don't answer those questions, you won't get approved because we're going to make sure we got to keep the bots out, basically. So.
Yep. Jason said that he thinks Miss Ann is on here tonight, but probably still can't comment. I wonder why she can't comment. We need to get her back on the chat.
If she's using, I think Brother Ria was having that same issue. He couldn't chat, and it was something to do with his phone, if I remember right. So tonight's topic is setting your prices and negotiating with customers. It's always a hot topic on I get tons of questions on how do I set my prices, how to deal with customers, stuff like that. And while we're actually not making commission sales anymore, we still deal with customers and sponsors and things like that. So it's always important to kind of feel your way through this. We kind of stumbled our way through it when we started. And if you watch those videos that we've done previously on how to price your woodworking projects, that stuff still stands. But the main thing was I would always underprice myself, not to the customer. I would just look at the project and think, okay, I'll do it for, if it's say $100. And I would show it to her and she's like, are you kidding me? $100? You're going to lose your shirt. And so she would kind of walk me through what those prices are locally, what she's seeing that kind of stuff going for in the store. And we just kind of try to base our price off of that. So a lot of times if you've got a Kirkland's or IKEA or whatever, you can kind of get a general idea of what a lower end piece of furniture is going to cost you, because those things are made out of MDF. They're made out of particle board. It's not going to last. It's got like laminate stuff glued on top of it. It's not real wood. So your prices should be adjusted accordingly. So I would be curious to hear how you price your stuff. But the way we always did, we tried to be fair, but also keep your prices at a decent level, because you're making custom work. If you're building cutting boards or you're building furniture or whatever you're making, it's a custom built, hand built product, and that has value. And you don't want to undervalue yourself. You don't want to take less than what it's worth, and you don't want to just take less to make the sale, because then you'll wind up being known as the person that's making the lower cost item, and that's not really a way to stay in business if you're trying to make it a business. If it's a hobby, it's a totally different conversation, but we're talking business.
I wanted to read you a comment.
Read it to me.
It said from Jamie Winfro, Matt, love the channel. I'm finishing up a table for my wife tonight, inspired by your way of building. Thanks for the inspiration.
That's awesome,
bud.
man. Thank you.
I thought that was nice.
It is nice.
Big Grizzly Woodcraft says, I never negotiate with terrorists unless they're paying with cash.
Yeah. So negotiation's another thing. I've got a video that actually has been on the channel for a while. And then all of a sudden, that's the one I changed the thumbnail on. It just took off. It was your customer says your price is too high, and you say, that's kind of the topic, kind of leads into the theme of the video. But you don't, if they say your price is too high or they're trying to talk you down off of that price, it's not going to be worth you dealing with them for the most part. Now, it's pretty common for people to ask you if you give discounts, or if you give them, what do you call a first responder discount or a military discount, or would you take less, things like that. But if you're not willing to do that, I personally don't do that off the front. If you want to give sales, run sales, that's a good way to drive sales. If you run a sale, 20% off, whatever, for certain holidays, things like that, or just flash sales, it's a good way to get rid of inventory if you have a stock of cutting boards and stuff like that. But just taking it off the top right away is just bad business, I think.
Tater's Woodshop says, I love that name, by the way, Tater's Woodshop. Never negotiate. Your price should be your price for the quality of work you do. Unless it's for family, then even sometimes family pays more. Always charge family more, because they're the ones going to complain the most. I've
always been, ever since we started the business, was you get a 50% down payment before you start building anything. When you take the order, that's to get on my schedule. You give me 50% down, I put you on the schedule. That's a non-refundable deposit. You understand that up front. Usually, always it's in writing, whether that be on a text or Facebook message, or however you're communicating with your customer. Or if they need to sign a physical contract, basically they can do that. But you want to get that 50% down, because the last thing you want to do, and I've been burned by a friend, a so-called friend, that I built the whole project and got ready to give it to him, and called him and was like, hey man, I got this thing ready for you. Actually, I don't want it now. What do you mean you don't want it? I didn't spend all this money and then built this project for you, and you don't want it? It's a custom piece. And I'll tell you which one it was. It was actually the Pledge of Allegiance flag. There's a video on the channel of the Pledge of Allegiance flag. Yes, there is an error in the flag. There's a comma missing, so, or it's misplaced, right?
Yeah.
And so
it happens when you're busy doing stuff.
And so that flag was made for somebody, and they just totally flaked on me. And I wound up putting.
But they didn't know about the comma thing, so
no, they didn't. I put it on my Etsy store and wound up selling it to somebody in New York. So There you go.
Yeah. I'm still writing states.
But that'll get you, make sure you're covered, your expenses are covered on supplies you have to buy for it and some time you've already put into it. Especially, I mean, don't discount the fact that you're planning the project too. So that's worth something. Your time is worth something. If you're spending extra time away from your family on a side project or a side hustle like woodworking, then your time is valuable. So if you're taking time to plan a project,
your time is valuable no matter what.
Right. But you're taking time to plan that project, you want to make sure to charge accordingly and make sure you're getting paid for that.
You may have turned down another project to be able to do this one.
That's true. Also, if you have questions, you can just drop. I've seen other live streamers do that. It seems to work well. Put a Q in front of it and then type your question. That way we can actually catch that it's a question. We'll try to catch it. If we miss it, just ask again. We'll try to catch all of them.
Becca says your plaque was awesome.
It was. Jason did a really good job. I really appreciate that.
I don't know how he was able to do that.
That was really cool.
So cool.
We'll show it again here in a little bit.
Too bad it was a lie.
It was not a lie. I've got proof. It's right there, burned in stone, set in stone.
Really, Jason?
Anytime I get in trouble, I'm pulling the plaque out.
You better keep that thing in your pocket then.
I need a wallet-sized employee of the month, Jason.
Oh my goodness.
Just Jason Racer, I did see this.
What?
He said, Q, did you see this?
That's funny. I'm way behind because I'm trying to catch up.
DNZ Print says he does 100% up front and knows the client. I'll take 50% deposit. That's probably good practice.
Shugi, I can't say it. Jordan Palmer.
Shushigiban.
There you go. Jordan Palmer said to do something I can't do. What?
Steven, how do you repair MDF? As far as I know, man, it'll be difficult to repair it. If it's water damage, it's pretty much done for. If it's just chipped or flaked, you might can mix up some sawdust and glue mixture and kind of spread in. If it's just like a chipped or whatever, kind of make a form, like a concrete form or an epoxy type form, and spread that glue and MDF mixture in there and sand it back flat. That's probably what I do. FRM Rider, yes, I did make this table we're at right now. There's a video on that. It's a desk is what I call it. It's basically a table, but I call it a desk.
It's pretty cool too.
It squeaks a little. There it was. The squeak stopped. Yay.
I thought I broke it. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
I thought I'd broke it. I felt so bad. He made me feel horrible about it. He was like, you can't do that. You can't do that. I was like, I felt awful because it made a popping sound. So I thought I'd done something wrong. He's yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm trying to help you get your studio. I was on my lunch break trying to help. And he's yelling at me.
Oh,
hit me right there and put that bruise on me.
I did not. But the members saw you smack me in the face in the members only live stream.
I didn't know such thing.
Robert Lee says, I would like advice on pricing CNC work for school fundraising. Man, I would highly recommend reaching out to either Sam Craft or Andy Bird Builds on YouTube. Both of them have CNC focused channels. They're way more into CNC than I am. They'll probably be able to help you a lot better with that.
Hey, Michelle Cochelle. She says, Happy New Year, 731 family.
Thank you. Jeremiah says, how long would you wait to follow up after giving a bid? I'm assuming I'm too high, but should I break down how I come up with that price? Man, I had so many people would ask me for a quote and never respond back. I just move on to the next one.
Yep.
Don't waste your time.
True
If they
story.
want to do business with you, they'll let you know. Now you can do a follow up if you want. A week later, said, "Hey, just checking in. Make sure you get you on my schedule. You know, if you're interested, I'm filling up fast or whatever. You know, if you are, then you could do that." But I had dozens. They would ask for a price, and I give them the price, and they wouldn't even respond and say thank you. So that stuff's gonna happen.
Hey, Lloyd Wagoner says Lloyd's in the house.
Hey, Lloyd.
So Lloyd was actually in the house on our floor and
Explain,
real
please.
big. So it's kind of like a tradition now because we've had floors replaced twice now in the house.
Yeah.
And
right when we moved in.
Yeah, and the first time it was linoleum and then carpet that was almost white. It was like a really light beige carpet. So our kids were little, and then we had a neighborhood boy that he grew up pretty much at our house. He was always here. And we gave them all Sharpies and let them just have a blast and go all the way through our house. We let them draw. We were doing the kitchen counters at the same time. They got to take Sharpies and color every inch of the carpet, the linoleum, the kitchen counters.
She was just making sure there was no turning back.
Yeah. Well, it was the night before the people were coming. We hired that done. And when the people showed up to do it, they were like, they were kind of looking at us kind of funny. And I was like, well, we have little kids, and they had a blast. So this time we decided to do the same thing. Well, Lloyd saw us post something, and he said it needs to say Lloyd's in the house. So I told Mo, I said, go write Lloyd's in the house on the floor. She goes in and writes it across the whole kitchen floor. Mm-hmm. And so literally when you're cooking breakfast, going to the fridge, doing dishes, you're walking on top of Lloyd's in the house. And then somebody decided they wanted the used floor, and they come and picked it up.
With Lloyd's in somebody else's house now.
And so Lloyd's in the house still. And they said they're going to install it anyway. So it's going to be scrambled, but Lloyd's still in that house.
Colleen says, do you set your prices at all by hours you put in, cost of materials, or both? I would say both. If you're going to be, especially a big project. Some projects, maybe not, like cutting boards, things like that, because you can batch those out. So it's really hard to kind of figure out how many hours you got into those. But I would go with both on furniture type projects.
Do you have much competition there? Bill Lloyd says.
Well, now I don't, because we're not really in the business of selling furniture. But at one time, there were 2 other people here, and this is a small town, 10,000 people. So out of those 10,000, how many is actually buying? Not many. But at the time, yeah, we had 2 others making furniture the same style I was, actually. John Williams, do you still like your Wahuda joiner? Yes. That thing's awesome.
Okay. So did you see Rich's question? Did you? Okay. I love this question. Did you ever do an upcharge to bump someone up on your schedule?
I haven't, but
I find that interesting because we're waiting on a tile guy to come and put our floors down in our bathroom. I even told him, I said, why don't you message him and see if we would pay extra if he would come earlier? And his response to me was, he's already got people on his schedule. He's probably not going to do that. So if somebody's willing to pay to be moved.
Yeah, but how's that fair to his other people who's already paid? That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Like, if I was your customer and I found out that
I don't know,
you offer me an upcharge to bump up on the schedule. I mean, I get it. I don't know. I kind of feel 2 ways about it, really. Like, as a business person, I'm like, it's kind of interesting.
It's
that
so
you can
interesting
basically pay for priority. And there's certain business models out there like that where you can pay for a priority.
And as soon as he told me, he's already got people on his schedule, and I don't think he would have been willing to pay extra anyway to do that. But I'm at the point that I am. I don't care. Let's just not get groceries this week.
Oof.
And see if we can get bumped up in the
eat.
Oh my gosh. But I find that a very interesting question, Rich. Yeah. Have any of you done that? Y'all leave a comment if any of you have done that, because that's super interesting. Stephanie says time equals money.
Join is what versus subscribe? So join on the channel, it gets you the membership. Basically, membership for a channel is a way to support us and what we're doing. But you get some perks out of that. We do live streams for members only three times a month usually. And then also you get some access to videos that I never publish publicly, which are basically rough cuts. And 99% of those have no music or like graphics, things like that. It's basically just me, the voiceover, talking, and it has some extra scenes and stuff in there that get cut before the final edit. And then also we do, you get discounts to the store. There'll be a coupon code to our store where you get a discount.
Brian McCord says, my dad would overbid on window jobs. Mighty Sawdust question, how would you deal with why is yours so much more compared to the other person, whether marketplace or whatever, without having to draw out all the details versus the other person's version?
Why would you?
Why would I?
What makes yours different? I mean, is yours better? If it's better quality, better built, better joinery, it's kind of the way I would go at it. Like, I'd just say mine's better.
but if somebody told me that, if I'm asking somebody, what makes yours more expensive, and they just say, well, mine's better.
I'm not saying to just leave it at that. I was expounding on that. You tell them why it's better and why it costs more, right?
Well, I would, as the person who usually makes the purchases for things in our home,
Mm-hmm.
things like that,
What would you like to hear?
I would need to hear certain. I would need to hear something to the effect of, do a comparison of pieces that person has made compared to pieces that I've made. Are they making it with the same quality that I'm making it with, the same skill set, the same materials? Is theirs, guaranteed for a certain amount of time versus yours? Is theirs made out of something that's not always something that's going to stand up in certain situations?
Or the finishes you're using, the quality paint. That's one of the things that set us apart locally was we were using high quality paint. Paint was like, what, $75 a gallon or something?
Yeah, so the different...
High quality finishes as far as top coats, things like that. There was no real cheap nothing on there. I mean, we was using pine and stuff, but the finishes, the fit and finish at the end product was better than the competition. It was pretty obvious in pictures, but when people would question what we were doing or what types of stuff we were using, I would let them know that it was going to be finished with a good paint.
I think a phrase that would sell me on something like that would be, if you decide to go with what I build, I stand behind what I make. I make good quality. If it's something that, is not good quality, then I'm not going to turn it over to you. If I make something and I see something's wrong with it, I'm going to rebuild it and make sure you have the best that I can offer to you.
I have done that.
Something like that is something that would make me go, oh, wow, this person really does care about giving me a good quality piece. Smoking Reptiles Homestead, welcome to our One Before Supporter Club.
And a big old snake.
Steph is checking on Mo.
Oh, the dog got her.
Oh, not to be dramatic, but your child just stabbed me in the throat with her nail. She's talking about the dog, y'all. Mo, come on now.
Quit being dramatic.
So on the finishings here, what I was going to say, in our town, most people would finish things, and I'm not knocking any paint at all. I'm not knocking that. I'm not trying to say anything bad because I've painted with Walmart paint most of anything I've ever painted that I've went and purchased myself until he started painting furniture and stuff. Most of the people here were buying the cheapest paint they could get from Walmart versus him going to Sherwin-Williams and getting the paint he was getting, which was completely different when it came down to it. We painted our walls one time with Walmart paint.
It happened.
And it peeled. It was Mackenzie's room.
You could pull it off in sheets.
The whole thing. We started noticing big bubbles, and so we touched it. When we did, it started coming down in huge sheets.
Like dried paint. Just like imagine pulling the whole sheet of paint off the wall.
Whole layer. It
insane.
Went back to the same color it was before, and we were like
it did not stick at all.
No. So it definitely makes a difference what finish you use. If you're painting a bar stool a color, and that person's going to sit on that bar stool 2 or 3 times a day, like we sit on ours, the paint's going to chip off much faster if it's not a very good finish. So just saying.
Neil Horsley, how do you advertise stuff I've already made, gathering dust, nobody's buying because they don't know about your potential business? Have you told anybody about your business? That's one of the things you need to actually be get in the habit of doing, is actually talking about your business, even to friends, family, strangers. If you want to sell them bad enough, you talk to people. Depends. I've heard a lot of people, I don't know what you're selling, but one of the examples I'm using in a video coming up is people actually go into real estate offices and sell them cutting boards to give to their customers who buy houses. I think it's a genius idea. There's a lot of people doing that. So if you can find something very similar to the type products you're making that can be given as gifts from people when they purchase from a company, then that would be a recurring business you could actually get into and make those things.
I'm reading. Sorry, I'm pulling a U. I'm reading.
PJ Barker, you're correct. You can pay for Facebook Marketplace to run your ads. That I've heard people have success with that, even $3 or $5 boosts on a post. They call them boosts. It's an ad. You be able to boost that post. What I have found though is, or what I've found versus doing it for free, when you put something out for sale for free, it gets very few views. I mean, we're talking in the teens if you're lucky. when you boost it, you'll get a few hundred views depending on how much money you put into it. So it's basically, when I started, you could actually put something for sale on Facebook Marketplace and dozens and dozens of people would see it. And that's how we started our business and started driving sales.
My allergies getting in my eye.
Oh.
Sorry. I don't know. Did you read the comment by Christopher Wycart?
No,
Wycart?
How far
I
back
don't know if I say that. Said, I like what he says. We have taken an extra payment to take on an extra order to meet a deadline. For example, a family member offered us an extra $500 to get their table project before Thanksgiving. Discussed it with the wife. That's if you are willing to put in the extra time to get something like that done, you're not messing up your other orders.
Right.
You're just pushing yourself further, maybe extending your work day for an extra payment. There's nothing wrong.
No.
I think that's
Good
wonderful
idea.
if you can do it.
Good idea.
Yeah. I think that's awesome.
Thank you, Justin.
Dustin Hobdy, welcome to our One Before Supporter Club. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Christopher said I got it right.
Good job.
Which time? I said it like 4 different ways. I think
Doesn't matter. One of them was right.
I think it was Wycart.
One of them was right.
My eyes, like, y'all, I told the members only this, when you go back into a classroom after a break, that your allergies go nuts, or mine does. I thought I'm allergic to kids, y'all.
And Horrible Hill says, if you want to work part-time and things are taking off faster than you can handle, how do you throttle back without burning bridges? I had that happen.
That's a hard question.
I had it happen because I was making stove covers on Etsy, and I've told the story before, but when you get an order on Etsy, if you got notifications and sounds turned on, it'll go cha-ching every time you make an order. We would be laying in bed, and I would actually dread hearing the sound because I already knew I've got 3 out there that I've already made. I've got 2 in the process of being made, and I hear 2 cha-chings before I go to sleep.
He would get out of bed.
Oh, my goodness.
And go out there. He would get up, and I would say, where are you going? I got to go make those noodle boards. That's what he would be grumpy about it, but he would head out there and do it. Because
that's bad to be grumpy about the business growing, right? It sounds really bad now that I'm thinking about it. But it happened because it was I was getting overwhelmed.
You were working so hard.
It was getting frustrating. So how did I dial that back? Well, on Etsy, if you paid $3 for ads every day, they would show your products to people. And that's really the only way to get seen on Etsy. I mean, you can do it organically. It's just really slow. And then on the, I moved it to $5 and I couldn't keep up. So I moved it back to $3 and caught up on my orders. And as far as local orders go, I just scheduled everybody out. They would message me and say, can you build this table? And I'd say, and we'd talk back and forth. I give them a price. And then when they agreed they wanted it, I would say, okay, it'll be a deposit. However, it's going to be 6 weeks before I can start it, or 4 weeks. Yep. Or we did that several times.
And that 6 or 4 weeks timeline did not start until he had his deposit. It wasn't 6 weeks from the day of the conversation. 6 weeks from the time of the deposit, and he made that very clear.
Yeah, so just be open and honest with them. Say, hey, I've got a lot of work coming in. This is a part-time thing for me. I think as long as you're honest with people, they'll respect that. And just tell them, hey, I'm putting things on schedule so that I can manage it. That way I can keep family time as well as having this side hustle to help try to keep growing. That's what I did.
Tim Hurt says, do you feel that Rubio Monocoat is a durable enough finish for a dining table top?
Yes.
And I knew you were going to say yes. Also, do you think it's worth the cost? Yes.
So Rubio is really not that expensive if you think about it. So I bought this tiny can for $50. Right?
It goes further than you think.
$50. I did Brother Riv's table for the bottom and then the top. And then I got paint on the top and had to sand the whole thing off and did the top again. And then I also have done our closet. We put a 15 by 24, maybe not, it was 15 by 17 walnut top on a dresser, built-in dresser in our closet. And I've done Rubio on that. And I still have some left. Now, the activator is gone. I wound up having to use all the activator, but I still got about this much Rubio. So it actually goes an extremely long way. And I mixed up too much of it to use on the coffee table build. So that stuff, it sounds expensive when you're looking at it, but it goes so far. This stuff is like, the wood will only soak up so much of it, and then the rest of it just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading. It's like, if you ever use Never-Seez, it's like this... it keeps bolts and things from seizing up. We use it all the time in construction. If you got a spot of that stuff on your finger, you would have it everywhere before you got off work. It just goes everywhere.
Josh Smith says, is it a good idea to advertise that you're self-taught or no? If not, what's the best way to advertise your experience? I would just say this many years worth of experience. They don't need to know. If I'm advertising for something else, you're not going to, oh, hey, you know what time it is?
Power tip time.
Power tip time.
All right, this power tip come from 4321 Woodworks. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go check out his channel. Yes, I do. If you're not subscribed to 4321, go check him out. He's making good content. Mm-hmm. His power tip is sometimes you got to fire the customer. I like that.
Yep.
Because she said it, before that on the members only live stream, that the customer's not always right. Just because they want something doesn't make it right. You always hear the phrase "customer's always right." Got to please the customer, and in the most part, you do. You need to focus on your customers. Be good to them. Be fair to them. They're the reason that you're in business. We appreciate all the customers we get, and we want to take care of them the best way possible. But there are some people who you can't please and who will fuss and complain about every little thing, and you'll never make them happy. I've had it, especially on Etsy here lately with digital plans. I've had people last Christmas buy a plan and from like the UK, and they message me wanting to know why their physical table hasn't showed up for $4.99, and I'm like, what?
Oh, and then we've taken some beatings over that stuff.
I'm like, so it's just like silly stuff like that. You can't always.
Thank you. That customer. An arable heel. I can't reach. You'll have to push it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, we've all grown up hearing that the customer is always right. Okay, so maybe, but can you walk into Walmart and say, I don't want to pay 99 cents a pound for these fruits or vegetables. I think you should give them to me for 49 cents a pound. They're not going to do that. So, it's not that you get to negotiate everything in life down. You're not automatically entitled to pay a lower price than the 10 people before you.
If that was the case, I'd call the electric company and say, hey, this light bill ain't working for me. And since I'm always right, let's do it for free.
You can't you can't try to pacify everything that a customer is going to want. You have to tell them your price and, be willing to fire your customer if it comes down to it and say, look, you and I are so far apart on this that I don't think there's going to be any meeting of the minds. And I think it'd be better if you find somebody else to do the job for you, So, and a lot of times when you tell somebody something like that, they're like, crap, I really want it the good way. So, okay, let me go ahead and pay you the deposit, and then move on.
Back to do you tell them if you're self-taught? I don't know that brings value, right? That's not going to bring value to in the customer's mind. I don't think so.
It's the same as if, you're a chef at a restaurant. The people eating the food are not going to worry about whether or not you were self-taught to cook or if you had gone to some big elaborate culinary school. They're just going to say the food's great.
Yeah, if it tastes good, it tastes good.
Yeah, so you could put your year's worth of experience. I don't think there's anything wrong with telling somebody you're self-taught. I think being self-taught, in my opinion, is amazing. I think people who are self-taught things are absolutely insanely talented to be able to teach themselves something like that. So for me, I think I would love knowing that, but not everybody is going to, I hate to say it this way, but some people may not be impressed by it, and that's their loss. Yeah. People who are self-taught are wonderful. People who go through trainings are wonderful. Having the talent is all that matters. You have the talent, whether you got it, through the good Lord or whether you got it through a lot of training or,
Gabe Smith says some helpful keywords are handmade, handcrafted, heirloom, customized. I like that too. That kind of gives it a little extra that people are actually paying for versus going to the furniture store and just buying some mass-produced thing.
Hey, Cullen Bohannon. He said he stopped in to say hi and hope we're well and have a great stream. He will watch tomorrow. 3:30 comes early.
Yeah, Brad B says, what are your thoughts on French cleats? I think they're pretty cool. I'd like to have them in the shop, but I really don't have a place for them because of how my shop is currently set up. But yeah, they're really good.
Oh, Splinter says that to Married Man, he missed the show last night, but we'll catch it next time. I thought it was interesting last night that he had multiple people.
Yeah, I like that too.
That was
3 of them.
That was the 3 of y'all, and the screens were switching and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool.
Good. If you're not following the woodworking YouTubers channel, go check them out.
That's right. Christopher says we're all self-taught. Educators provide opportunities to learn, but we practice to learn. We are learning via YouTube in lieu of school. That's true.
Lee Loven says bought quite a bit of air dried walnut and wants to know when the musky smell leaves. I've never had air dried. I've always had kiln dried. So even the kiln dried, it has a little smell to it, but I actually enjoy the smell of walnut. So I would assume it would take quite a while to get out of there.
Hey, Blessed Husband is back.
Hey, Bless.
From my favorite state ever. Sorry to all the other states. I just won't even name it. Mississippi. Damon says he's a self-taught air drummer. Does that count?
It is. It does count very well. Oh, I'm also one of those.
Oh, let me call our states really quick. Always get blasted with states. All right. Oh, and I just saw a new one come in. So Mexico, California, Virginia Beach, Florida, Texas, South Dakota, Ohio, Nebraska, Canada, Arizona, Minnesota, the UK, Wisconsin, Maryland, Maine, Illinois, New York, Kentucky, Arkansas, Alabama, Alaska, Louisiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Missouri, Iowa, Colorado, Iceland, Michigan, Indiana, Tennessee, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Georgia, UK. Canada. I did, Canada, eh? And somebody said from God's country. And so I wrote that down.
Must be from right around the corner.
Washington State.
Splinter Fingers wants to know when my next CNC video is coming. He's partnered with Carbide and is going to be starting video next week. That's awesome. I don't know. I don't really have any plans for a CNC video. I'm sure I'll do one at some point. I haven't really played with it that much. I've been making some mallet templates with it. I made a few trays with it. I really haven't had the time I wanted to dive into it. And I get frustrated with it, and I get happy with it, and it's kind of a back and forth thing. Any tips on making videos on it? Just man, do whatever you're passionate about. If you're, whatever you're making with it, or just the learning process, I think it'd be good to see that.
ENZ said, "I forgot New Jersey."
New Jersey.
New Jersey. I can't say it.
New Jersey.
Like, oh my gosh! Is that? Do y'all say "ka"?
Ka? Yeah, they say "ka." I thought that's Boston, though.
Boston. But no, some of those shows, I don't know.
Hey, from Taiwan.
I don't even know. All I know is we speak Southern around here. And
Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne says he has a lump of cash. I bet you do. I bet you do, Bruce.
No, he says, I got a lump sum of cash and was going to buy a miter and table saw. My mom thinks I should wait. I think I should in my current free time use his current free time productively while he looks for work. What's your advice?
I think you better listen to your mom and dad. Well, I think. How old are you, Bruce? That's first. If you're an adult, do what you want to do. All right. But Bruce Wayne, the reason I made fun of that is because Bruce Wayne, Batman. Bruce was rich. Get it? Anybody else get that or just me? Okay.
No,
so
I knew what
if you're an adult
saying.
and you want to buy that and you think it's a good use of the money and you can actually make money with that. You can make the money back pretty quick. I say go for it. But if you're not, listen to your mom and dad.
Well, yeah, I would.
If you got a 16, 17-year-old boy wanting to make stuff and he's like, I'm going to buy this stuff, and you say no, and he goes and buys it, he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be. Don't get him in trouble.
Yeah.
Kyle, my shop is about a 20 by 20, give or take. I think one way is 22 feet. The other way is 20. That's about what size. This is a 2-car garage, basically.
He's 23. He's an adult.
Do it, man. Do it.
But I have a question, Bruce Wayne. Is that really your name? Or is that like a first and middle name?
Maybe it's just a made-up name.
Because it's fantastic. Now we got bats going.
Brad B says...
Alien Leader, I got it too.
Wow.
Oh, and congrats to Alien Leader. He won on the stream last night. Whoop, whoop.
Brad B says, while it's hard to put a price on quality, when you source your lumber, how do you keep yourself within your budget? I have several hardwood dealers in my area. Well, so it's hard to put a price on quality. Source your lumber. How do you keep yourself within your budget? Talking about buying the lumber, I just buy a little bit at a time. I don't buy a whole bunch. I'm assuming that's what the question's about. So like me, I buy like the last order of walnut I bought was like $490 something. The order before that was about $500, but I still got a lot of that, and it was 4/4 walnut and maple. So I just kind of buy. I don't have a place to store a lot of it. You'll see in the latest videos stuff standing against the wall. I've got wood everywhere out there, but just buy a little at a time.
Okay, listen. Bruce Wayne says that's not his name. He made the YouTube account when he was a kid, and Batman was his favorite superhero. Now it's Iron Man.
Oh,
I love Iron Man.
You gotta change it to Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's in the house. That's funny. Michelle Cochelle says, I am Batman. That's
I
funny.
wonder if the new Batman's going to be any good. You know who the new Batman is, don't you? Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I saw that.
They say it. They say he does really good at it. All the reviews are saying he's doing really good.
He's a vampire, though.
No, not now. He's a bat. Well, there you go. He was a vampire. Now he's a bat. Get it? He just turned into a bat. It works.
He's gonna talk really weird too.
All of them do. That's
all the Batman talk so weird, and I don't get it. I'm not a Batman fan. I'm so sorry to y'all that are.
I like Batman. All right.
No. Hey, do Alex. I like that. Do Alex.
Tim Hurt says. Tim Hurt says, when you're getting started in woodworking, did you use YouTube to learn? If so, what are the channels you watched most? Yes, I did. Steve Ramsey was one of them. I still watch Steve. Fix This, Build That. Wood Whisperer. Man, so there's a bunch of them. I Make Something. Is that the name of the channel? I Make Something. So there's several of them I watch. I still watch them all the time now. If I have a question about anything, just like y'all, I'm like, I've never done that before. I go to YouTube.
Joe Nelson says Michael was the Batman. I'm sorry. Michael Keaton did play it pretty well, but I like Michael Keaton. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Michelle Cochelle said, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. If it comes down to it, Michelle Cochelle, I will love Batman just for you.
So you'll go watch it with me?
I'll go watch it with Michelle.
That's funny.
That's funny. Bye, great grandpa. He says, do well, everyone. He's got to
go. Michael, it was pretty hard. For one, so when I was doing YouTube, I wasn't actually, I wanted it to grow, but I didn't like go all in on YouTube from day one. So it actually took us 3 months to get our first subscriber. We went from May of 2017 to August of 2017 before I got one subscriber. Nobody, not one.
Not even me.
Not
I
even
didn't
her.
even know
she didn't know that. I was posting videos on there. And so I think I posted 3 or 4 videos before then, maybe 2, 3. I don't remember. And so they were terrible. They were awful. You can go watch the first videos.
Happy New Year, Ray Rodriguez.
It's slowly built over the next, 3.5 years, I think, 4. Let's see, 27,
it took a long time.
3 years, 3.5 years. And I got to about 20,000 subscribers in 3.5 years. And I didn't post like every week, but I tried to post fairly regularly and tried to get better, a little better. And then one video took off and I went from 20,000 to 100,000 subscribers in about 2.5, 3 months. And then we've been growing ever since. And I've been trying to learn more and do better and make better content. And but it takes a lot of work.
Tristan, I like George Clooney as an actor. have never been a Batman fan, but as far as they go, I thought he did a good job too. On content, everybody hated.
Not everybody hated, but the majority didn't like the backsplash.
They hated it.
So we won't do any more backsplashes.
Everybody was like, no, it's so ugly. Take it off. What was wrong with the other backsplash?
Oh, nobody watched
and I'm like, good gosh, people, I hated the other backsplash. As bad as you hate this one, I hated the other one, y'all. It's my kitchen. Gosh dang it. People, they were not just giving a different opinion. That I don't mind. But people were just being nasty. And I'm like, we don't do bullying up in here.
People had to get banned on that one.
Yeah, because they were just doing nasty comments. And I don't play nasty.
Josh
I don't
Patton,
do that.
I think you can change the name of your YouTube channel. I'm almost certain you can.
Oh, PJ Barker liked it.
Thank you, PJ.
That's right, Becca. She said, you keep what you want, girl. I love my backsplash, y'all. And it actually looks a little bit different now that it's completely cured and stuff. It doesn't look like it did. I even told him, I said, the video makes it look horrible. But it actually looks really good now.
Bob, he says he does that burning stuff.
Oh, Cassandra liked it too.
What's the oldest tool I have in my shop? It's probably my circular saw, the one I started with. It was a borrowed saw when I got it. And so I don't know how old that thing is. It's like a Master Mechanic or some no-name saw. It's probably the oldest one I've got. I still got it. I don't use it much or at all, but I still got it.
Can you pop this picture up for me that I texted you? Ignore the other stuff in the picture, but I want y'all to see what it looks like now. Thank you, Gabe Smith.
Brian McCord says he's going to do a YouTube shorts on wood shop. That's good. Give your shorts about
thank you, Andy.
Probably let's see, 7 to 14, sometimes 21 days before they start. getting any traction. And then when you're new, it takes even longer. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, so y'all look at this picture. Ignore all the mess because we're, mid remodel with everything. Not yet.
Did I push the button?
I don't know.
There it is. Why is it showing that?
I don't know. I don't know what you're doing.
It's not showing. I don't know how to make it show. Well, there you go.
I think you're pushing the wrong button over there.
It won't show. No, the desktop is showing.
Oh, well, dang. Well, anyway, I'll have to post a picture to the community.
It's just black screen now.
Yep.
I don't know. It won't show up. Well, there you go.
Did it still never show?
No, it never showed up.
I'll have to post a picture to the community and let y'all really look at it because it looks completely different now. I wish I could show it. Why would it do that? Why would it not show up?
Gabe says, don't stop pushing buttons.
Hold it up there, see if you can see it.
Hey, Bill, thank you for purchasing the plant. I'm glad you liked them.
Thank you, Miguel. Yeah, that we literally got the name for it from the piece of wood. I was like, what if we just call it Live Edge? So, yeah, that's literally all it was.
Yeah. She came up with a name.
I'm also the one that came up with Outlaw's board butter is so good it ought to be outlawed.
Yeah, that's her slogan. Any marketing, anything that goes on with 731, she does it.
Oh, CDN says, I thought your hands were the oldest tool in your shop. Yes. Comment of the night. We got to start having that comment of the night every week. That's awesome, CDN. Cal Pear says, I just found your YouTube channel recently and it's awesome. I've been digging the scripture related shirts. Where do you find them? Is the one you're wearing right now scripture related?
Yep,
yes,
First
they
Peter.
are.
This side, First Peter. So most all of them come from either Caruso.com, that's KERUSSO.com. Also Mardel.com, MARDEL.com, and then we have a few on our website as well. Speaking of, this video is that's not right. I don't know.
See, you just...
What's wrong with my buttons?
There's my kitchen.
There's our kitchen and all my texts.
There's my kitchen. I don't know.
It was quick. It was quick.
Okay, all right.
I don't think you saw anything. I have no private information.
I didn't even get to see the kitchen.
Do you want to see it again?
The kitchen.
Okay. It didn't pop up last time.
All right. Let's see if it works this time.
There it is. It's coming this time.
Is it coming this time?
Yep.
How do you know?
Because I see it on my screen.
Oh.
Right? There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
There's the kitchen.
So look at the one where you can actually see the color and look at the backsplash with it. Now that the new floor's down, it's still a mess in there and it's cured. To me, the backsplash looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm. We like
it. I love it. So.
Really all that matters.
But yeah, we took a lot of hate on that. And I had one lady, somebody left a really ugly comment. He said, wash it off. It looks very ugly. That was his whole comment. And I said, good thing your opinion doesn't count. And the reason I said it that way is because he was not just giving a different opinion. He was being, bleep, 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 bleep. And so I don't say ugly words. So I just said your opinion doesn't count. And I had another lady comment on that and say, Amy, you need to learn how to accept other people's opinions. Comments like yours is why people don't like to leave comments on YouTube. And so I posted back and I said, comments like yours is why most people don't want to post YouTube videos because you're not being respectful. She said, you need to learn how to be respectful. Yeah. And I was like, you need to look in that mirror.
Tim says, what miter saws have you had or tried out?
Thank you, Wildly
What has been your favorite? So I've had the DeWalt DW779 and I've had the Delta sliding. It's a Delta Cruiser. It's now a Rigid brand. Same exact saw, just a different color. I like them both. The dust collection on the Delta /Rigid is, unless they fixed it on the Rigid, it just blows it right back in your face. I did not like that part of the saw. Everything else I loved about it. Butter smooth glide. Excellent saw. It's very expensive, but it's a really good saw. The DeWalt I've had since several months in. When I first started, that was my first big tool purchase, and I've had it ever since. I actually gave the Delta away because it was the newer of the two saws, and I knew a local woodworker who needed one. So I gave him that saw. I kept the DeWalt, and so either one of those you'll be fine with. The DeWalt's a really good saw.
Stephanie has given us our 10-minute warning. Stephanie is our moderator.
She is the program director.
Yes, she is our program director. She is a wonderful friend.
Jack,
All of you guys are.
He says we may be out of focus. I should be in focus. She is not in focus.
Out of focus.
Something's going wrong with the camera tonight. I tried to fix it on the members only live stream, and it would not fix. I'm not sure why.
Thank you, Jason. You were answering Alan T for us. He says, "May I ask what the meaning of 731 and the site name is?" It's our anniversary.
It's 731woodworks.com.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're getting pictures of the pups. They must be getting ready for us.
They still got a little bit.
Yep. PJ Walker says, love the floors. I do too,
Thank
y'all.
you. We like them too.
Even in the picture, you can see stuff on them. I love the floors, but I was warned that if we did dark floors, we would see every little bit of dirt, and I'm OCD.
You see everything.
Yes, and so I'm Swiffering like constantly. I'm Swiffering and throwing those away and Swiffering again, and so I've got to order something. I looked into the Roomba, but it says that if you have animals and they have an accident, it could drive through it and spread it.
Even the new poop detection technology on the newest Roomba, which is an insanely expensive Roomba,
like $850.
It still runs over poop.
Well, because it's like it has poop technology. They have pre-programmed 100 and something.
We always talk about poop.
Becca said that if we talked about common in the night, it would lead to poop. But yeah, it still will run through it. So I'm not a Roomba fan.
I think
so far.
PJ's asking what kind are the floors. They're engineered hardwood floors. So in other words, they've
European oak engineered hardwood.
Yeah. So they've got they're actually plywood on the bottom. If you look at the side view of them, they're plywood, just like plywood. And the very top layer, 4 millimeters, is the thickest wear layer we could find. 4 millimeters is the oak. So these 4 millimeters, supposedly you can refinish them like 4 or 5 times if need be. In other words, sand them down, restain them. I don't plan on ever doing that.
Stephanie's having to warn 4321. She said, "Don't make me mute you." That's funny. He said her that she's program director. Psh, that's what he was putting. See, this is what I love about you guys. Everybody is such a family here. I love it.
Michael J says his room a bit awesome.
Really? So, oh, there goes Damon with the monkey poop. Becca, you were so right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Alan T, I looked at the Dyson, and my worry is because I don't know a whole lot about this stuff. I've never had to look at it. 4321 says she can't mute them. Oh, and Becca has a Roomba also.
Maybe y'all need to holler at her and tell her we need one.
Oh, wait. He said, if she says 3 dogs here, Roomba just won't cut it. Just easier if we sweep. See? Okay. But Alan T says Dyson back stick is great. I've looked at the Dysons, but I've heard that Dysons can scratch the hardwood floors. So I need to know. I was planning on researching some of that this week because I've got to order something. I can't keep Swiffering.
Josh Patton wants to know if I consider doing the LED mod to my DeWalt wire saw. Probably not, but I do miss the light line that the Delta had. I really use that a lot. I do miss that.
Tell them about the fantastic tool that you bought to put the floors down.
Oh, so I'm thinking about doing a video on 5 tools I should have never bought, and one of them is going to be a laser level line thingy. So I thought, man, we got to have this. Got to have it for these floors. I got to lay that laser line down to keep everything straight. Man, we got to have it. Got to have it. They even have them locked up at Lowe's, in case you don't know. They have all these other tools that are thousands of dollars worth of tools, and they lock up a line level. I don't know why. Anyway, it was like $180. Had to have it.
He threw the box away. He opened it, threw it away, and then he was like,
I'm like, we're never going to use this.
This is not going to work. And then put it on the counter and said, "Can you sell that?" And I'm like, "Where's the box? Take it back." Oh, I threw it away. That he puts in the trash.
So there you go.
Gabe Smith, the Shark Navigator is the one that I'm looking at right now. It's actually the one in my cart. Because I'm really looking at it.
Hold on, it's a very important question.
No.
Damon says, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
There you go. She almost didn't make it.
I almost did it. Oh my goodness. Oh, NZ says they lock up the small stuff that's easy to steal.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, so Michelle, I told him, I said, it will come in handy for me because I hang a lot of pictures and I do all kinds of things. I would actually love to do some type of wainscoting. She said it's good for that.
What's that other thing just coming in?
What? Oh, thank you, Project Toyota. Just built the DIY cart, about to mount my new Wahuda joiner, a drill press, and my pocket hole jig. Thanks for the great plans.
Yeah. So,
No,
I want to
Kyle,
give
we're
one more
not.
shout out to Jason Priestler, made me Employee of the Month. Look at that.
From the picture.
He engraved that with his laser engraver and made the frame himself. Look at that.
Oh, there it goes. It's super cool. It really is. Just got
I'm
the wrong
Employee of the
person
Month.
on it.
It does not. I am Employee of the Month, and I've got proof. It's set in stone.
It is so cool how he made that.
Bill Lloyd, we go live here on this channel every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Rocky B says, y'all, my dog had an accident and I have the Roomba with a stinky mess.
Bo, 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 bo.
Ooh, what a terrible,
That's
crappy
awesome.
thing. Somebody said, Michael J says, we had the Shark Navigator. Good vacuum. Have a Bissell now. The Shark Navigator is literally the one in my cart right now. It's the one I'm looking at.
I've got a Laguna dust collector that you could just. It's got a big long hole. You suck the den anyway. Yeah. Thought it'd be cool.
Is that the thing you tried to use on?
No, he sucked up some stuff. I just wouldn't fit down the vent. Remember?
You don't clean up dust anyway in the house.
Clean up dust in the shop. A lot of it. That ought to be enough, huh?
Oh, Alien Leader says that managers cannot be Employee of the Month. I got you. Okay, so that's why he's on there. I got you. It's okay.
Cleanliness is next to managerliness. Miguel, I would love to have a bigger shop. We've talked about that. We actually either want to,
Rocky Beast dog
in
is
the next
100
couple of
pounds.
years, we actually want to either move to a different state and get out of South Arkansas, or if we do stay here, we're actually talking about moving somewhere here and then building a shop, or building a shop, buying some land next to us and building a shop. But in the future, maybe in a couple of years, Lord willing, if things keep progressing, then yes, I would like to have a bigger shop because I'm out of room.
Cal Parrish, he is not sponsored by Festool at all.
No.
He says, I'm considering a Harbor Freight biscuit joiner and saw the Festool one in a video recently.
Mm-hmm. So no, I'm not. So there's two different tools. Okay, a domino.
You're out of focus now, and I'm in focus.
You look better than I do anyway. So a domino joiner needs to. They're two different tools. A domino joiner versus a biscuit joiner. A biscuit joiner is basically only for alignment. It's not going to add any strength. And then a domino will actually replace it's a loose mortise and tenon. So it's actually a joinery method. So it will add strength to your joints, no matter if you're doing face joints or butt joints, things like that. You'll have those tenons in there that actually create strength. So there are two different tools. You wouldn't want to build a piece of furniture with biscuits in a joint like that and expect that to give it strength. All it's actually going to be holding there is glue, just for you to know.
4321, did you see the J&D new shop with studio, content creation space, and live stream space?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Papa's, welcome to our 1 to 6 supporter club.
Hey.
I can't reach the button.
Thank you.
Damon said that Matt said butt joint. So, that's funny. Dexter said, even out of focus, I look better than you.
I agree.
I don't agree with that.
Every day.
Okay, I don't. Oh, my
awesome.
Lord. So, him saying that makes me think of how you are. He says stuff like that all the time, like the butt joint. He's like, oh, you just said butt. Why do guys do that? Y'all are funny. That's what you do. Alien Leader says, Woodcrafters has a green door mat I put down to wipe my shoes off before leaving shop.
I got a mat too.
Mm-hmm. Is it worth, Adam wants to know, is it worth, say, building larger projects, starting a side jig, or to stay to smaller projects till you grow, i.e. river tables versus edge boards, cutting boards? Those river tables are beautiful.
I started out making bigger items. Mm-hmm. I've actually never made smaller items to sell in mass. I've always made furniture. I started out making furniture, and I just kind of progressed from there. William wanted to know, you got a dowel max, needs to know which size dowels to get. So it just depends on if you're joining bigger things, like bigger in dimensions, to get the longer dowels. If you're joining smaller things, get smaller dowels. 3/8 inch should be fine as far as bigger round goes. If you got the 1/4 inch kit, I think they started selling the 1/4 inch kit not long ago. You can actually get them smaller so that you can do picture frames, stuff like that in the miters. But other than that, a 3/8 by usually 1.5 or 2 is perfectly fine.
Josh Patton says, Matt, the beard looks great in or out of focus.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Our moderator, our program to what?
I gotta give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video.
Oh, okay. Well, our program director is on top of us here.
This live stream is brought to you by 731woodworks.com/store. Go check out our online store. If you use code HOLIDAY20 in about 10 minutes, it'll get you 20% off. Still, the last time it wasn't active, but it is now. Get you some awesome build plans. Okay. Help you build awesome projects.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year.
Yeah, have a good night.